Well, we're following breaking news tonight. Louisiana State Police are holding a news conference right now with an update on the death of Ronald Green. He did die in police custody following that high-speed chase from Ouachita to Union Parish. We go live now to that conference in Baton Rouge. Starting with breaking news tonight, a federal grand jury has indicted former Louisiana State Trooper Jacob Brown in the beating of Aaron Bowman. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining me here on KNOE News Now. I'm Alexis Bellamy. Body camera video captured Brown hitting Bowman in the head with a flashlight 18 times in May of 2019. So, for our fact or fiction, will Louisiana suspend the Johnson & Johnson vaccine? As we just heard, the answer to that is going to be false. And the next question, is the J&J vaccine safe? And as we just heard, that answer is true. Today, we're looking at vaccine distribution by age. Now, here's a look at regional parishes that show the different rates of younger residents getting the shots. The state health department says Ouachita Parish here has vaccinated about 5%. That's 5% only of its population between the ages of 18 to 29. But it's vaccinated just under 40% of the 70 and older population. Here in Tensas Parish, they're lagging behind in the younger population with around 2% vaccinated in comparison to about the soaring population just hitting 45% here. For the Louisiana Department of Health, we're looking at a racial disparity in vaccine distributions. Its numbers show in Ouachita Parish, the population for the total population is over 37% black. That's this line right here. However, only 20% of vaccines are going out to black residents. That's this other line right here. Meanwhile, despite white residents making up less than 60% of the population in Ouachita Parish, more than 65% of them are being vaccinated. That's this disparity right here. You can see how different that is. Now, in Lincoln Parish, 40% of the population is black, and you can see the disparity between how many of them are getting vaccinated with 25%. And while white people make up less than 55% of the population, 60% of them are getting those vaccines and going into arms. And many parishes in Region 8 have that same problem, that same level of disparity.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice.
After nearly a year of protests, 3 weeks of testimony, and 2 days of deliberation, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was found guilty today on all of those counts for the May 2020 death of George Floyd. Security is stepped up at big cities all across the country as officials brace for community reaction, while Floyd's family, along with other community leaders, continuing the call for peace.
I mean, there's no answers. I mean, he disappeared and nothing has ever really surfaced back from that. I mean, he just, in a weekend, gone. Everything about him, all of it, gone.
Well, tonight we begin a new series on unsolved cases, and we begin with the Balkanville family who has been searching for their loved one, Donnie Atkins, since 2018. Alexis Bellamy joins us with tonight's edition of Arklamis Unsolved.
Thank you, Jennifer. Donnie's family says they are never going to stop looking for him. They still remember the day they first found out he was missing and how it's affected them every day since.
It's been 3 years.
3 years, yeah. The last time I would have spoke to him would have been August the 30th, 2018.
Donnie Atkins II was working for a power company in Tennessee when he went missing in 2018. He visited home in West Monroe near the Balkanville area back in August. Family members say it wasn't long after that when they knew something was wrong.
Donnie is such a family man. Like, you know, he disappeared like on a Friday or Saturday. We're not quite sure, and you know, by Monday that none of us had heard from him. Not my dad, his uncle, me, Carmen. You know, nobody had heard from him.
A missing persons report was filed with the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office.
And it just all kind of spiraled from there. A missing persons case turned into sinister things, which turned into possible murder.
Family members could not stand by and wait.
I mean, thank goodness for Carmen. I mean, because pictures, evidence, where things were, dates, times, she's the only person that kept track of any of that.
Carmen and her family even bought the home where Donnie's phone last pinged from.
The property where supposedly Donnie's remains are, my husband and I purchased the property. And to keep the integrity of a crime scene, I guess you'd say.
During the search of the property, she and her daughter found a backpack filled with bullets, holsters, and a knife. She immediately told deputies, but Carmen says the backpack was never collected and put into evidence. Deputies did arrest 5 people. Joseph Hendricks, Thomas Davis, Daniel Barrett, and Paige Williams are charged with obstruction of justice. Their latest court dates were scheduled for January. Lindsay Phillips is charged with accessory after the fact. She has a court appearance scheduled for sometime this month.
Does that bring you any type of closure at all?
No.
We don't even, all of these people, their life is a hell anyways. We don't care what happens to these people. We don't care about justice. We don't care what happens to these people. All we want is to, if Donnie has been murdered or if he's dead, all we want is to bury him. We want a funeral. We want a service. We want to know where he's being laid to rest at.
Now, Alexis Bellamy has been poring over some court documents and talking to the alleged victims' attorneys. Alexis, what do they have to say?
Jeff, this is the Louisiana State Police investigation into what happened. It was only conducted after the alleged victim, Aaron Bowman, filed a civil suit 16 months after the incident occurred. Now his attorneys want Trooper Jacob Brown and others held accountable. Jennifer, I'm here in front of the Registrar of Voters in Monroe, and the line is still pretty lengthy and getting longer by the minute. Now, early voting has already broken records for people casting votes in person and mail-in ballots. As of yesterday, Ouachita, Lincoln, and Morehouse parishes have the highest early voting numbers.
And now the family of a 13-year-old girl wants answers. Alexis Bellamy joins us now. And Alexis, how is the family coping?
Jennifer, Yaya Green's family is still reeling from their painful loss. They say they are overwhelmed with sadness, but are doing their best to stay strong and honor her memory. Jeff, Aaron Buchanan with the Department of Transportation and Development says it's simple. If it's not necessary to drive tonight, stay off of the roads. But if you do have to get in your car, make sure you are paying attention. Jeff, Jabari Edmonds was shot and killed just 2 days before Thanksgiving. Family members say it's troubling that police have not given them any updates in more than a month.
Alexis Bellamy joining me now. Alexis, when does this curfew go into effect?
Jennifer, Lake Providence Mayor Jerry Bell is still trying to work on those details. He says the curfew will not only help slow down the surge of COVID-19 cases, but may stop a recent surge in violent crimes. Martin, she's standing by. Sheena, good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday.
Good morning and happy Taco Tuesday. It's going to be a great day for some tacos, I think.
Perfect. We need it after the light snow flurries we saw over the weekend.
Yeah, those are long gone, and now we have the potential of severe storms in the forecast. Louisiana really can't make up its mind.
It can't, can it?
Not at all. But, don't worry, because today is still looking pretty mild.
Closer to the start of our week, I'm just hoping we can continue to see some of that sunshine and just really get through this week with no rain and pretty skies. Can you tell me that?
Well, at least for the next 2 days. Is that good enough?
That's good enough for me. I'll take that.